Matt. Hello, how is everyone doing? Thank you for the raid. I wasn't expecting, especially this early. It threw me off. So thank you so much. Oh my goodness, how was stream? Oh my gosh, we have Michelle here. We have Matt Hall plays here. Just Jay, Ian Watson, our guest for the evening. So let's give Ian Watson some love. Oh my goodness, my mod should be coming in here soon. Hopefully we can get some shout outs going. Let me give you a shout out real quick, Matt. Oh my gosh, how was stream? We're watching your channel before you go. That's so funny. Were you bumping to the music? I just added that song because I was like, all my music is lo-fi and boring, like my personality. So let's do something to at least kick it back and forth. Let me give you a shout out real quick. Thank you so much.
Wait, and Tori's getting 4 subs. Hold on, I've been subbed.
4 subs? What kind of party is this?
It's 4. I said 4 subs, not 4
Oh,
subs.
subs.
Though with these people, that could mean the exact same thing.
We love that. Oh my goodness. Sounds right. Hello. Oh my gosh. All right. So I'm going to unmute my mic now so that way Ian can hear me and we're like back and forth at like the same versus the delay that I'm sure they are getting right now. So I'm going to unmute now. And then I'm going to bring Ian's voice in. And now I'm going to show your face. Boom. I don't know how. Let me switch over real quick. Get you over here. Look at the lovely Ian. Oh, there we are. Wait, why can't I hear you?
Oh, there we go.
There we are. Hi.
Weird. Hi, everyone. Yay. Hi, friends. All right, there we go. It's always so funny because you have to like kind of go between the two. I'm like on your chat on your stream so I can see your eyes. It's so funny. No, you, Woody. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for coming and being my not only special guest, but like my first. You and Matt were both like, when I was thinking about doing this and I did it with Matt, I had so much fun. I was like, all right, I need Ian and Matt. I'm going to do this. I have to do it. And I'm glad you responded and I appreciate it. I mean,
Oh my God, of course. And I love, I appreciate being like a little bit of a guinea pig moment. It's kind of fun, kind of sassy. And also, my best friend loves guinea pigs, so that just makes me feel good.
absolutely. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Fluster.
friend, Valentina. She's an ally. Talk, Valentina.
Finn, I love you. I just wanted to make sure. I had to wait because there was a little delay for me to see who it was.
I got you. Finn, thank you so much. And so, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's so funny because there's like, so in my stream, there's a, I don't know, because you probably can't hear the audio from my stream, obviously, because I'd probably like drive you crazy. But there's do you know the, oh my gosh, the TikTok where it's like, talk Valentina, like ally, that one?
Yes.
It plays it. So like I have to say the ally part or else I will like probably be shown on my stream.
No, yeah, I'm glad that that is the right move. I wouldn't be concerned if you didn't do that. So thank goodness.
Right.
But it's funny because right now like the trending TikTok sound is do you feel bonita? I feel bonita because you look bonita. That is the current one. That every other video it's that sound. So
I know.
I guess that's I need to do that next. I need to do the bonita trend thing.
We should make one together, a TikTok together.
Honestly, sure. I mean, you're the TikTok king because I feel like that is where where I first saw so much of your like content and stuff.
I feel like that's probably true because I remember when I first started coming into your streams, you mentioned that and I was like, wait, what? Because that was my first time. Like I was telling people, like sometimes I go into streams and everything and people bring up the most random things that they like want to tell people about me.
Oh, that's so cute though. I like to figure out like what people associate with certain people or like with myself or anything.
Me too. It's like my favorite. It's so funny because every time I go, especially when I go into a new stream and they're like, wait, I heard of you, like Finn.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
well, I'm glad you're here, Finn. So exciting. But
Oh, we have to start from the top. I'm so sorry. Everyone just came in so late. All we've said so far is that Owl loves me. That's it. You're all
100%.
caught up. You're all caught up. Ooh, no.
That's all we're gonna be talking about this entire stream.
I mean, that is why I agreed to this. My ego needs it. It craves it. It begs for it. And my mother hates me for it, okay? My mom is watching too. I believe she is already in the chat.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, let me check. No, I'm just kidding. Could you
Connor,
imagine?
hi, handsome.
Mom, where are you? Connor, I love you.
I wonder if my mom's here. Mom, are you here?
Moms, are you here?
Mom,
But I didn't know. So your mom's very supportive of like the Twitch stuff too.
Super. My mom. So when I first came, out as a Twitch streamer,
So brave.
I know, right? I really just was the forerunner for this. Oh, hi, Mama.
Hi, Mom. Told ya. I know.
Yes.
I know my mother. I know my mother.
Well, that's the problem with
knows.
my mom is that she goes to bed at like, what, 8:30? So like she misses all of my streams except for when she can stop in. Yeah, she tries though.
Yeah, because you stream up much later. Is that did you always have that schedule? Like, because I've always known you with your current occupation. So I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if it was always in that, because like during the pandemic, did you start?
Well, so it was actually funny because that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. No,
Oh,
but
sorry, I'm taking over. I'm so
No,
sorry.
I
I'm
love
just
it.
curious.
I'm just teasing. But no, so seriously, like when I first started streaming, I had just moved to Kansas to try living out there with my sister. My brother-in-law is a big gamer. He tried to talk me into getting a gaming PC. And at the time, I was moving out there. I was going to try and find a job. I was trying to go to school to be a pilot. And
Oh, I had no idea.
that was the original plan. And then
Okay, the more you know.
the more you know. And I got like after like a week of like saying no, I can't afford a gaming PC, it's too expensive. He finally talked me into it, and I said, okay, well at least I can do a lot of like the studying and the paperwork and everything on the PC, so there'll be multiple like things I can use it for. And he eventually talked me into it, so I bought it. We went out and I came back,
Cute.
set everything up, and then I started gaming with my friends back from Pennsylvania and West Virginia. And they said, you should start streaming on Twitch. I said, oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. What's Twitch? And
That's adorable. So you didn't even know Twitch beforehand. I love
didn't.
that.
And then after about a year, no, you know what? I'd say about probably 3 months into streaming on Twitch, I was sitting there thinking, my little cousin messaged me. I say little cousin, but he's like 21. And he messaged me and he's like, oh, hey, I see you're on Twitch. And I was like, it just all of a sudden rushed back to me. I remember when I was like 12, 13, and I hopped on Twitch because he was like, you can make money doing this. And I was like, I'm going to make money. And then I like remember messaging him. I had one viewer for like 2 minutes. I was so excited.
But I think that's actually, I talk about that a lot. Like, when you start getting to that point, because I think it's just natural, like it's a human progression. It's a very human experience to be like, kind of, you forget the excitement of like when you first started doing something. Like think about when you were just so stoked that there was 3 people watching you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always, whenever I get to any sort of like self-doubt or anything, I'm like, just defer back to like how grateful you were that there's 6 people here.
Right.
It's so cool. So whenever I get to any sort of like thing, I'm just like, just be so grateful that people spent so much time. Like any amount of people watching you is just like, I've always said the best gift that people give you on Twitch is their time.
Well, that was one thing that was always like weird for me, is that like every time I got into Twitch, I've always had these people like, hey, you should do this. This is how you're going to make the most amount of money. You should do this. This is how you're going to make money. I'm like, to be honest with you, I don't care about like the money at all. For me, like money will come to an important part at some point, just so that way I'm able to do it more than focus
Sure.
on work all the time, right? So that's obviously the ultimate goal. But like, I'm not here to make money. I'm here to like touch the hearts of people watching. But like, honestly,
We are not the same. I'm here for money.
can see it in
Everyone in the
Ian's
chat, I
eyes.
need the money, please. It's such a
Cha-ching.
struggle. I live in Los Angeles. This is just a cry for help. I agreed for this vodcast so I could beg you all for your money. No, I'm just kidding.
I had to
no,
pay
but I totally
so
know.
much
I
money
know
for
exactly
Ian
what
to
you
be
mean.
here.
Money, honey. The amount of money you threw at me. No, I'm just kidding.
I emptied my bank account.
Oh my God, could you imagine? No, the guilt. Too much guilt.
It was only $5, but I emptied my bank account.
You know what? I'll take that $5. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I just kind of think about that. That's why
Oh, Connor, thank you.
Oh my God, you're so cute, Michelle. I love you. Money? No, Connor. Wait, for Owl. It's okay. It's for Owl. It's for Owl. Perfect.
And Connor, you're 100% right. TikToks are only so my mom can watch, and that's 100% accurate. And she's the only one who does watch.
Period. That's why Ian is interviewing with everyone. It's the money. I'm trying, Michelle. I need the eyes on me because baby, she's broke. No, I'm so good. But it's funny because I can't help it. When I see a joke, I have to take it. And because you were like on the complete opposite, I don't know why my brain just has to be like, well, now I have to say that I'm all about that.
Yeah.
I can't help myself. That's just the way my brain works. Is it sexy? No. But do I try to make it sexy? Not really. No, I don't.
Yet it becomes sexy. That's just how it works. Oh, by the way, I wore this shirt, my Leveling Up to Daddy shirt for you.
Oh, cute. I'll have to wait a second. Well, I'm catching up. There it is. There it is. There it is. I see it. Cute.
It's so funny. Well, that was another thing about TikTok, too, since we brought up TikTok.
Sure.
That was the weird thing for me, is because all my friends growing up were more social media based than I was. I didn't really care about social media. And then I started streaming, and that's when social media I was like, this is where I need to like put my focus and energy, and I started loving it. So everyone's like, TikTok, and I'm like, no, I don't even watch TikTok. Like, TikTok drives me crazy.
How funny.
Isn't it crazy? My only memory of TikTok before streaming was my ex, towards the end of our relationship, started posting TikToks, and I was like, the only thing I remember was like just thinking to myself, oh, so you're just trying to get more attention from other men than me. Like, that was my only like association.
Your brain went straight to, now who the are you talking to?
Exactly. I was and I remember seeing that like he like posted one or two videos on TikTok, and he had like I think it was like 1,000 followers, and I was like so mad. I was like so mad about that. And I was like, so I told myself if I ever got on TikTok, I'm like, I have to beat you.
Oh my God. See the motivation of an ex. Of an ex. I'm very lucky in that way that with all of my exes and stuff, I'm not concerned about like, I'm like, are you talking to some other guy? My brain goes straight to, well, how could they? It's me. No one would. So I'm very lucky in that way that and if they are, then just break up with me kind of thing.
Honestly, I'm at that point kind of in my life right now, and I think they got me there. And it wasn't like, the problem was, it wasn't, oh, are they cheating on me, or oh, are they talking to another guy? It was, I was more shocked if they weren't. That's how much they were cheating on me at that point.
Ooh, that's really tough.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
But it made me like so much stronger. I'm like so much happier. Like, I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for the crucible that I had to go through.
Oh, thank you, trauma.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. No.
It is funny though, because like before streaming, I couldn't post like a selfie. I didn't take pictures of myself. Nothing. I was so like insecure, and now
interesting.
And now I do it almost as like to like prove to myself, like, hey, this is where you're at. Like, you
look at the growth, honey.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool though, because I do think Twitch has given a lot of like cool skills that I didn't realize it gave me until like, or a renewed sense of confidence as well. That's been really cool. Cause like I'm confident in what I'm confident in, but I'm not confident in what I'm not confident in. But I feel like it's given me more confidence in in a multitude of ways. It's very interesting. It's hard to describe, really, though, because it's like I'm more confident in who I am as a person. But of course, I'm not always. Just in general, I feel very more comfortable just talking about whatever.
Well, yeah, I've like become much more open with myself and open to others, especially because like there's times where I'll go post something on Twitter, or there's times where on stream I will get very like open about things that I'm going through. Like I think it was right around when I was streaming with Stream for a Cause. I mean, I still am, but I was streaming for Stream for a Cause, raising money for mental health awareness back in December, and I was actually at the time going through so much mental health issues that I was hiding from like everyone, that I just said, you know what, I'm gonna tell everyone, because I came on stream and it wasn't to like for any other reason other than to be like, hey, just so you know, you might be going through this. I'm going to openly, because I wouldn't talk about my feelings because I hid them for so long, is I'm going to do it not only on stream so that way like people know like, hey, I'm not the only one going through this, but also at the same time they'll show you like, if I can talk about it on stream in front of all these people, hopefully that'll give you a little bit of a confidence enough to go talk to somebody that you trust and be able to talk about it. Because I think talking about your feelings is super important, and that's what I was trying to hopefully that's the point too. I get a lot of messages that are about like how either streams or TikTok has helped get through certain times just because of the positivity. And it's helped me. Like me being positive on stream and trying to be positive in every other aspect in life because of it. It just it caused me to get to this point.
For sure.
Thanks, Michelle.
I think with me, it's funny. It's kind of also kind of the opposite with me, where it's like I've been very thankful that stream has given me permission to kind of let this in this moment a lot of times be like, this is just living the joy. And that's been really exciting to kind of be like, I could have like the shittiest day and then I come on and I'm like, oh my God, fuck that. Who cares? Life is good. I love all of you. And so it's kind of been, I've always been very open with my feelings though. So I guess that's never really been my sort of thing, but I'm just so grateful that I have already had like such a strong support system. But it's been really nice to kind of switch it to more of like let's celebrate queer joy, because I feel that isn't always celebrated. So it's just been nice to kind of live in the joy, live in the gratitude.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, and that's another thing that streaming has brought me, is just like so many different perspectives in life.
Yes.
Is that I didn't have before. I grew up in a very like sheltered household where I grew up and I was like, oh, homophobia is not a thing. Oh, racism is not a thing. Like, that's a thing of the past. And then I got into the real world. And it's not because, like, it's because my parents were not like that. So I never experienced, like, I didn't see it because the stuff of, like, that happens just baffles my mind. I'm like, how can people even think like that and go that route? There's a lot of times where I get myself into trouble because somebody takes something wrong one way because of how they've been treated in life, and to me I'm like, wait, that's not even how I meant it at all. Like the other day, I'll give this as an example. I was trying to sell a car to a customer, and he came in and he got super offensive, or not offensive, but super offended so fast by everything I said, because he thought that everything that I was saying was because of the color of his skin, because of this, because of that. And I'm like, I even went up to my manager and said, why does he keep taking everything like this? So my manager went over and started talking to him, and he just came from another dealership where they were treating him that way, and they were saying, oh, you're paying for this in cash? Or are you a drug dealer? It was instantly going towards that and throwing it out there. I'm like, that's never even crossed my mind. Like, it was like, I was like, I felt so bad. I went and apologized to him. I was like, sorry, I'm so sorry that happened to you, but that is the reason why I'm talking this way, is because I would never in a million years think to ever treat anyone like that. So like, it like blew my mind. And Twitch
But
is
good, I
opening
think
up.
what's good about that is that you had this like education moment too, where we're always learning, and you kind of, I've always kind of thought when I speak, I'm like, how would this affect another person? And I think what's really nice about Twitch is that I think it ups the self-awareness. You have to be aware of how you come across to people, the things you say and stuff. And if you make mistakes or if you say something, you just own it and you genuinely have to just grow from it. And so people come from their own experiences. And from that, I kind of just use my experience to inform how I can empathize and treat them with the love and respect that they deserve, like every person.
Yeah, 100%. I've become such a better, well-rounded person because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I'm so thankful for Twitch and social media in general, because there are so many good things that can come from social media and so many bad things, and I'm so glad that my experience has been so positive so far.
Right.
And it's just amazing. And for me, the hardest part is I'm such a people person, in person. So like after a year and some change of streaming on Twitch, I got really depressed almost, because I'm like, what have I been doing with the last year of my life? What have I, like, oh, I haven't done anything, I haven't accomplished anything, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, I've made no friends, none of this. And then I went to TwitchCon, and I was like, the bar the first night, it was the after party after the it wasn't the first night, it was the after party after the drag showcase, when we all went to, I forget what the club's name was, but I just remember walking through, and the amount of people that I knew was just like insane. Like I felt like every 5 seconds I was like being stopped, like, hey, take a picture with me, or hey Split, like I didn't, oh my god, you're here, like that kind of thing. And it was just the most amazing experience of my life,
Yeah,
personally.
I did love TwitchCon. It was just fun. It was very nice. And also, like, I'm a very socially anxious person, and I think I think what was really nice about TwitchCon is it took away a lot of the pressure. At first, I was so nervous about going and everything. But when you get there, everyone is kind of nervous in their own, and it manifests in a different way. So it kind of took away the stakes of like, oh my God, I hope they like me. I'm like, oh, we're all just fucking losing our minds, doing the best we can. And, I don't know. It's really nice to, I don't know. It was just really nice it took away any of the pressure. We were all nervous in a way. So that was just nice to not have to worry about it.
100%. I agree with you like 1,000%. And that was one of the things, because it was like one of the first streamers I've ever came in contact with on Twitch happened to be, so I'm in a new town in Kansas. I have no idea who anybody is. The only interaction with the gay community is on like Tinder or the other app. And so I match with this guy on Tinder, and we're sitting there, and he's like, oh, so what do you do in your free time? Like, lately I've just been streaming on Twitch. And he's like, what? That's crazy. I know somebody who streams on Twitch. I said, oh, cool. Who? He said, what? When I was growing up, I became friends with this one guy. We don't really know each other too well anymore, but like, whatever. I said, oh, what's his name? I'll go follow him. And he's like, oh, it's Haslance. And I was like,
oh, cute.
Right. So I guess he already told Haslance about me. So,
oh, that's fun.
Right, it was amazing. And that's how I got my kind of like my into streaming, was through Haslan's community. So Haslan's was like the first streamer that I ever really watched. So going to TwitchCon, me and Haslan's were messaging like, hey, where are you gonna be? Like, let's see each other, whatever. And after like meeting him, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like we are, like you said, we all are like the same. It's like, yeah, it's just oh, cool. And then it's just like all these other people that I got to meet that I didn't think I'd ever get to meet, just running into. I was like, oh wait, I know that person. Oh wait, I know that person. Oh hey, it's Bitch Puddin'. Oh, are you supposed to drink? I mean, cool. It's not accident. So funny. But that's like my one memory with Bitch Puddin'. So it's just like the stories from that were just crazy. But I got to see you. Got to meet you in person. We are though, Matt. That is one.
Wait, what?
Wildcats, yeah, 100%.
Oh, we are. Yes, we are. In the house. Wave your hands up in the air. Split, did you get to shower before you met people at TwitchCon?
So, okay, before going to TwitchCon, some of the people that I wanted to meet really bad just happened to all be friends with each other. And I was getting off the plane, and my roommate, Achu, got a flight that came in like 6 hours after me. So I couldn't get into our hotel room until he thanks, Matt. Until he got there. So I was like, I'm gonna go check into the con and get everything ready. And I'm like not showered. I feel gross. I'm carrying my bags. I'm just like, ah. And I'm walking through, and I look up, and I was like, oh my god, it's Joe Dre. Oh my god, it's oh my god, it's Matt Hall. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Literally, like, three of, like, some of the people that I wanted to meet the most, I was so afraid to meet, were, like, right there, together. I'm just
Hey,
gross.
takes away the pressure immediately, though, right? It's like, you can't worry
100%.
about it now.
I was like, where do I hide? And then and then Joe goes, oh my god, Split! It was either Joe or Zap. And then they both, all three looked up, and I was like, oh, all right. I was like, I'm sorry. Hi. So it was awkward, but if it wasn't awkward, it wouldn't be me.
Hey, you are you. It's not awkward unless people feel like it's awkward. It's perspective at the end of the day.
100%. Hi, Kiki. Oh yeah, I was just asking you questions. So this is the only question I have for you. Is what's it like to be an icon?
Oh God. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. The thing is, my name starts with an I, and I was at a con recently, you know. So I guess I can take that, but that not like in the traditional sense of an icon. Not in the traditional sense of an icon. Hi, Lucky. I love you.
Differ. Hi, Lucky. And Mama Watson, good job on the name that starts with an I.
Oh yeah, honestly, she did great.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost was going to be Taylor.
Oh, I could see it. Terrific.
I would have been kind of cute. I love any name that is like could be for any gender. I think that's always fun. I love a Paige. I love a Sean. I love a Billy. I love a what's another good one? Taylor. That's a
Jesse.
good one. Alex, Jesse, all of them.
But apparently
Split.
Austin. Split. Split. Yep, 100%. But that one goes more towards my personalities.
Oh, okay. Hey, split personality. You're allowed to do you, boo.
It's really good for only for the fact that like if I'm playing. Love that. But if I'm playing and I'm being like, oh, I'm super sweet and I love everyone, which I do, and then I get somebody to do something crazy dumb in a game, and I'm allowed to, like, it gives me an opportunity to be like a little ragey and not get in trouble because that's my split side.
Oh, I get you. Your gamer side can get a little sweaty, a little salty if it happes. Interesting. I used to be like that, and I think that's actually so interesting. When I was growing up, I used to be I hated losing so bad because I was always like, I don't know why it embarrassed me a lot. And now I could give a rat's ass. Like, I do not care. I play to have fun and I play to be dumb. I want to be dumb always, said in a positive way. But I also like the opposite of the side of it. I love playing with someone who's like, let's do it. And I'm just kind of like, no. Ian? I'm like, sorry. Period, Matt.
For me now, because like I don't get mad at a game as much as I get mad at the people behind the game.
Sure.
Only for the fact that like because there's somebody obviously controlling that character behind it. So like if you're genuinely trying to like, because sometimes people are mean and they do mean things on there, but it's an actual reflection of an actual person. It's not like, oh, I died in this game. Like, ah, crap. Oh, shit, whatever. But then if you're playing a game where you're actually going against people and they are doing things to purposefully be, like, ignorant, that's, like, to me, it's, like, a reflection of the person. So I'm not, like, actually mad at the game. I'm just like, how could you be such a jerk? That kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I get exactly what you mean. Yeah, I've just gotten to that point now where I'm just like, okay, bye, moving on to the next one. Lorna, you're never late. The party doesn't start until you walk in.
Exactly. But welcome on in. It's funny that you mentioned that though, because I had an experience recently playing DBD, and there was one time I got like mad. I was like frustrated. I was like, ah, fuck, and I was really mad. And I thought this person was being a jerk, and it turns out they were not. And I read the situation wrong, and I said, like, I was just like visibly frustrated, and they came into my stream. And they were like, I was going to be, like, really nice, but, like, you seem, like, really angry for no reason. I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. And I apologize. And then, like, the next stream, I said I'm going to do better. And I did. And I had this one group come in. And I went back and I watched their VOD of them playing against me. And just the positivity that they had. And realized, like, we're here for a game. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're having fun. We're having stream.
Yeah, because I've seen it happens a lot to people. Like people fall into that trap occasionally. But I always just say, like, we are not mind readers. We are not mind readers. You don't know what anyone's intention was. You can assume or whatever. But at the end of the day, you have no idea. So assume positive intentions until it's clearly not, and then you just move on to the next. I'm like, they might have had a shitty day or their last. Because I remember one time I'm like, I had like a bully squad or something. And I was like, they probably just had a game beforehand where they were absolutely being treated like crap by the killer. And then they came in and were like, sorry, you're so nice. We didn't know. I was like, and they were like, last game was shitty. I was like, I had a feeling. Don't worry. I get it. I get it.
And this
We're
is
all just doing the best we can. Oh God, no. But it's not like it's like at the end of the day, we're all just doing the best we can. Like if you rage or something, have a little bit of empathy of like, oh, I've been frustrated before. It's human.
100%. Well, that's the thing is like now me and that person are, I don't want to say friends, but we're like friendly. I'll go into their stream or whatever, and they'll get excited to see me. Like, I think sometimes too, if you can just admit where you're wrong. That's also huge. To me, that's
all I care about.
Right. Like, I'm wrong for not starting Twitch sooner and meeting Ian Watson sooner.
No.
One of my regrets.
Never. It's a journey. It's a journey we have to enjoy. I've always said you never know where your best friend really is. Because, like, we've all in life growing up, you're kind of like, oh, this is my best friend because we went to elementary school together. But I'm like, wait, your best friend could have been someone that wasn't in the same state as you, in a different country. So I kind of always, I tell people when I meet someone that I'm like, oh my God, we hit it off so quickly. I'm like, we're making up for a lost time, and it only takes a moment to find the bestie.
I've had a lot of those experiences. I actually ended up, without going into detail, but I went on the stream, and I went to somebody's stream, and at the time I was a baby streamer, and I went in, and I was like, they probably won't even notice like me talking in their chat. So I almost just backed out and didn't say anything. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to say hi. So I said hi. We chatted a little bit. I ended up leaving. The next day, came back. They were streaming again. Came into the stream. And they were like, hey, would you like to play with us? I said, sure. So I came in, started chatting. We, like, hit it off instantly. Like, it was, like, such good chemistry. And, like, to the point where, like, a few months later, I ended up flying out to go spend, like, a week with them. And it was amazing. And now we're really good friends this day.
Cute.
Which is really
I
cool.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've met some of my favorite people on Twitch. Like, yeah, it's been really nice to have like all of those experiences and stuff. My question is like, what is your like goals and with Twitch in the future? Like, what keeps it streaming? What keeps it coming back to it?
Are you reading my list? Because you're literally following in order what I was gonna ask you. That's
hey, babe, I'm just beating you to the punch right now.
So for me, on Twitch, I'm just continuing to like find different ways to reach more and different people. Twitch, I have like things like this. This was one of the first times, right, Matt? Right. This is one of the first times that like I've actually ever planned something. I was talking about this. I was just talking to my friend how we ran into each other at TwitchCon. We were friends from back when I lived in Pittsburgh, and I was talking to him. I said, I really want to start like almost like a talk show kind of thing at some point in my life where I just want to be a host because I want to be able to have people come on and just chat with people and start like a podcast kind of thing, like a talk show kind of thing, and interview people. And it's the first time like I was sitting there, and honestly I wouldn't be doing this right now if it wasn't for going into Matt's stream the one day and Matt saying, oh yeah, me and Ian were talking about, trying this out. And I said, I wanted to try it out because this is something that I've always wanted to do. So, to get back to your question though, something like this is my first step into going into more of a podcast thing. So like after we're done here, what I'm going to do is take the video, edit the video, turn it into a YouTube clip, and then also take the audio out and turn it into an actual like podcast.
Fun. Yeah.
So like those kinds of things, absolutely. But my next journey with Twitch is honestly, and social media in general, it's kind of like taking it to another level by starting doing like YouTube, things like that. And I just want to focus on creating better quality and going out and reaching different audiences in a different way, reaching different brands, just so that way I have a way to connect with other people. A lot of my focus I want to be is taking the wonderful LGBTQIA plus community and introducing it to the rest of the world, so that way our community is not looked at the way it's kind of being looked at right now. That's one thing I've always done growing up, just naturally, because everyone's like, why are you embarrassed for being gay? I'm like, I'm not. They're like, well, why don't you tell people? And I'm like, well, I don't tell people until I get to know them, because I want them to get to know me instead of being like, oh, that gay guy who just started here, like that kind of situation. And especially in the car business, like going over and hang out with like mechanics and things like that, it's like all these people who have this perception already in their head, and going out and interacting with them, and then them finding out, they're like, oh shit, to the point where I've had people come to me with tears in their eyes, like saying like, I was a homophobic asshole before I met you, and you've completely changed my whole outlook on it. So like I told myself, I said, if I ever get into a position where I can go and like reach people in that way, I would like to do so. And a lot of times with social media and stuff, like I've even had people reach out to me like, oh, seeing your stuff, it's like I look at it from a different perspective now. So like, I mean, I think like outside of Twitch and like with Twitch, that's one of the goals that I do have, because I think if people just took a minute to like listen to each other, I feel like people would understand we're not so different from each other. We just don't take the time to listen to each other.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I used to be kind of similar in that way, but now I'm kind of like starting off with being like, I'm the gayest person you'll ever meet. Take it or leave it, baby. Because I just genuinely try so hard to be nice to everyone I meet. There's this quote. It's from the and I'm gonna misquote it, so I apologize.
If you're watching,
I believe it's her name is Chris from she was one of the first people fighting with the No on Prop 8, and she wanted to marry her wife. Eventually, they got married. But she said something where it's like, growing up, I had this quality that I knew people disliked about me that I couldn't, really control about it. It's just who I am, and I can't change it. But people just hate me. So I work very hard to create qualities that people do like. So I try to be nice. I try to be funny. And I feel like I adopted a lot of that growing up. But now I'm kind of switching it now, where it's like, when people meet me, I really haven't had a lot of experiences if I'm just genuinely being nice and myself that people just tend to see that they're like, oh wow, they're a very nice person, like at the very least, you know what I mean?
It's
And so, but I lead also with like, but she's a queen, mama. She's a queen, mama.
And I like
But
that. Yeah. I think that's a good quality too. I think both approaches are equally like important. I think I don't know what it is, why I've always had that approach, but for me, whenever interacting with people, I feel like that's probably my best way. And it's not getting them like, I'm not sitting there having the thought of, oh, I'm gonna change you. A lot of times it's just like, I'm gonna be me, and then
yes,
you're gonna realize
that part, Matt.
That's funny. Squizink. Welcome.
But that's what it was, though. Sorry, that was just a really good point of like, that's what it was. I overcompensated with humor being like the sweetest ever. And now it's like undoing a little bit of that, where it's like, I just be me, just be you. You don't have to let everyone know that you're like whatever. But yes, it's just a really common thing that a lot of people have gone through, where we overcompensate for our queerness with something else. But yes.
Yeah, well, that's also another thing too. Is like I've noticed too. Like I'm not hiding any aspect. I'm just being me. And then if they find out, like I try and let it just be more of a natural thing, because I don't feel like it. For me, like I don't just have to talk about it. It's just I'm going to talk about it as if it is normal. Because a lot of times, I like see on people talking about, oh, I hope one day that there's going to be a time where we don't have to come out, and. I don't really ever. I just kind of bring it up. If I'm having a conversation with a customer, I'll have a conversation and be like, oh yeah, my ex, and then they will start to like, as time goes on, piece together, but oh wait, ex is a boy. And I'm like, sometimes, but usually it goes by asshole, because he was an asshole.
Ooh, I don't know if you know Gamma Juices, but we might need a...
Oh, all right, I got you. I don't have any mods here, so we love that.
Hey, happens.
Hi, happens. Oh.
I thought the chicken was lovely, Leo. I agree, Leo. I agree. Boom.
Boom.
Also, I love you, Leo.
I love you, Leo, too. I don't know you yet, but I love you.
Leo's good. Leo's good, people.
Leo's good.
I wanted to actually, randomly, because I love Twitch because it's a mixture of like a lot of just chatting happens, but there's like, of course, it's obviously gaming. But I was curious, what was like the game that got you into being a gamer?
Oh, as a gamer or a streamer?
Gamer. I think it's the origin stories, really.
Yeah. So I would probably go with Halo. Halo 1. I remember growing up as a kid, and my siblings were always 5 years older. They were doing their thing, and I wanted to be a part of... Hi, Haslands. And I wanted to be a part of that. Like, I was like, how do I get your attention? How can I, like, I just want to play with you. Let me play with you as, like, this little kid. And they're always doing their own thing, and they always try to include me. But my older brother really didn't too much. We didn't have a great relationship until I became an adult. But when they started gaming, they started off with Halo. It was a friend of a friend who introduced them to it while we were all together. And that's basically where it started, was just me trying to get my siblings' attention. And then I kind of got hooked onto that. What about you? What game for you?
I think the first one I was well, it's hard. I think because I talked a little bit with Matt on this. I think it was Street Fighter was the first game. But the first game I was obsessed with, I think, was Pokemon Red. I believe it was that. I think it was Red. I don't think it was Blue. I think it was Red. But I just loved it so much because it was the first time where I had a moment a couple times while playing it where it's like, oh, I'm feeling a little depressed. I spent so much of my life playing this one video game. And that's how it starts, really. That's how it starts, where you're like, oh my God, I'm wasting away. And then you continue to do it. And then eventually you lose that that guilt or that whatever that feeling was. You lose it and you don't care and you just play, you keep plugging along on Genshin and you just keep going and going and going. Anyway, sorry.
I tried Genshin once.
Oh, I love it. It's
really
great, but
Genshin.
it's really hard when you first start it, really.
And that's probably why I didn't get hooked like you did. I tried my best to get into it. I enjoyed a lot of like the aspects of it. I'm a huge like element person, so I think that's like really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't really, get into.
It's not accessible at first, and then you get over a hill, and then you're like, oh, I get it now. But again, that's what I like about gaming. If a game doesn't resonate with you, you just move on. There's gonna be a game that resonates with you, right?
Right. And that's where, I
like Toontown too.
I like Fortnite now.
Yeah.
But I play it, I don't want to say I played it too much because I still go back to it. I just feel like from a lot of, I don't know, it's gotten monotonous to the point of like, I'm trying to find other games to like jump out to.
Absolutely.
So like, if you have any suggestions, but that's
anything that excites you will excite the audience. Anything that excites you, because like people get really excited whenever I play Story of Seasons because people genuinely can see like, oh, you love this series a lot, and I'm like, I know, because that was like my first console series that I spent hours plugging my life away trying to make it so Potpourri will marry me. But I was like, I'm gonna marry Potpourri because if I was any of these girls, I'd want to be Potpourri. She had pink hair. And she like worked with flowers. Queen.
I could see you as
Queen. Oh, I've never dyed my hair, but I've thought about it. But I'm so scared of. I've just never dyed it. I'm afraid of the unknown. That is one of my weaknesses, and what I try to grow as a person. It's like, I let fear dictate a little bit too much. If I don't know, I'm not aware, and I don't have control, it tend to be like, let's not do that. But now it's like I'm trying to be like, you even if you kind of want to do it, just fucking do it.
I had that fear too.
Zach, I'm scared. Zach, come help me. Will you bleach my hair for me? No, don't. I'm scared to bleach it. Can I just do it? I'm gonna do a tint. Maybe I'll start with a tint.
Tint would be cute. I was afraid because I did for a charity stream that I was going to go platinum, and I ended up going platinum, and everyone really liked it, and I've considered going back, but I don't know, y'all. I feel like if I go platinum, you have to go pink.
Okay, deal. No, I'm going to shave my head. I know I'm going bald. Matt Hall, I'm going bald. Not really, buzz, not bald, it's buzz. There'll be like a little bit at the top. No, I would never do that. I
don't look good with a buzz cut.
I've always had hair. Like I've always had a good amount of hair. It was middle part at one point though. It was very 90s, very Boy Meets World.
I got a buzz cut when I was 17. I told myself I'm never going back to this ever again. It was terrible and terrifying. Boy Meets World, is that the one with Topanga in it?
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. I grew up right next to Topanga Canyon, so it was perfect.
My aunt taught Topanga in college, like the actress, which is
I love that.
Pretty cool. Fun fact, Matt Hall. I know how much you love my fun facts. But yeah, I feel like you'd look cute with a pink tint. Where did
I think it would be hard with a tint though with pink. I think I would have to like go with like a dark blue or purple so it would show up. But if I were to go pink, I'd want to do like a pastel. I like pastel colors. I've always say my favorite color is anything pastel.
Do you know what's really funny that you said that? Like I mean, I guess I kind of could have assumed that about you. Yeah. But like when I was designing the poster, it's just my first like I'm getting into like Photoshop stuff and things like that and drawing and things like that. And I said, so I'm gonna make a poster. And I said, what color should I go with? And I was like, well, it's Ian, so I feel like I have to go with pastel colors. And I couldn't I was not able to make it look good, or else I would.
Well, I think also the hat color I had in the picture. I just gave you another photo. That's why I was like, here's options, whatever works for you. Go for it. But yeah, it's that's what I like about content creation and stuff, though, is that you just got to do it. You just got to kind of like not be the best at it at first, and then eventually you figure out little things that make it better. Like I feel like all of my like editing gets better every time I do it. I come up with funnier ideas. I come up with like, oh, I get quicker too, which makes it a lot. I don't know, it's just a lot easier.
I feel like I get burnt
you gotta
out.
well, that's the
Sometimes.
other thing. That is like the hardest part. It's the fine line of like, because there's grind culture is like a thing, right? But the thing is, you can wind and grind it up on the floor as much as you want. But if you burn out, you aren't enjoying it. So then what's the point? If you're not having fun, what's the point? Go back, go do something else. Have fun.
Right.
Go do literally anything else. If you're miserable, you'll make more money.
Is that from something? I feel like that's from something.
That's from my brain.
Your brain? Okay.
From my heart. But it's truly like if you start losing your joy for it, first figure out what is making the joy go away. But secondly, it's just kind of like, well, then take a step back. I got a little burnt out with like my editing. And I was like, you've done a lot. Take a step back. Instead of beating myself up over it, I was like, well, we're taking a break then, baby.
That happened to me
I
on
don't need to
TikTok.
tell anyone I'm taking a break. I don't need to tell anyone. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah. TikTok was the one for me. I think I
Magenta.
also got like kind of upset with TikTok was because they banned one of my videos for from hate speech, which was really frustrating because I did a video of my impression of a gay owl, and it was like doing really well.
Funny, how random.
I know, it's so random, and I was so mad whenever they like took it down, and then I tried to get it back up, and they said nope, it is hate speech, and I said, oh, okay, I'm done. Hi, Dean.
Damn.
Yeah, but you mentioned kind of like just wanted to like jump into things, but what got you into Twitch?
So it's so funny because I was talking to my mom earlier about she's like, so whose channel are you gonna be on? I'm gonna be on Split Owl, and she's like, is it what is it? And I'm like,
Who?
split like split in half. Well, because my name is it's Ian Watson, and
yeah.
so she's like, oh, okay. I'm like, isn't that? And I literally said to her, I was like, isn't that kind of fun though? I like sometimes I wish that I came up with a like a different name that isn't my name, you know.
She had a Spider-Man moment from Avengers.
It's Split Owl.
Hi.
That's adorable. Hey. But I got into streaming because I was an actor, and so during the pandemic, I wasn't auditioning at all, and it was so funny. It was just like right beforehand, like I was in talks for this really random reality show that is so random when I think about it. It's so funny. And I'm so glad that it didn't work out because I really love that I've kind of like focused so much more on Twitch. So basically what it was an outlet for me to, it was Hoarders. Hold on a second. I'm so sorry. Split. I literally talked to you about this, Matt, that this was, I trusted you with that information. I trusted you with that information, and look at you throw it in my face. Look at you throw it in my face. Sorry, I like holding a weird sound for a while. Okay. But yeah, so I was just like doing something insane. Thank you. I just wanted to do something that felt still kind of creative. I hated social media. And that was one things I hated about being an actor. Cause like I'd go into commercial auditions. It'd be like, how many followers do you have on Instagram? I didn't have a TikTok before I started Twitch. And they're like, how many TikTok people? I'm like, I don't fucking have a TikTok. So that was always just really frustrating. But eventually, like during the pandemic, I wanted something. I was really close to BK Kasky, who's an amazing content creator and friend who I met before. We weren't really friends before Twitch, we were friendly and we like saw each other, but then we became so close through Twitch. And so I have a lot that I have to give up to him, and I always will sing his praises because I got to see what it was and what it could be, and it was so fun just to connect with him over video games, over stuff that I didn't know, because like he was playing like Final Fantasy X. Had no idea what I never played a Final Fantasy. I was like, I don't know what this is, and it was just so cute though. It's like, oh, I like this a lot. This is so fun, and I'm learning. I'm connecting with a friend that I didn't know how much we had in common, and we had so much in common that it was like, I don't know, it really something I'm very
I just want to say I'm part of the
passionate about
LGBTQ
is
and this is my best friend Valentina.
I don't know,
She's an
connection,
ally.
but connection in
Ally.
that sort of, I don't know, in a way that is, there's not a lot of pressure, but it's like, again, it's like you can meet your best friend and it only takes a moment to realize that y'all were meant to be close.
Yeah, I get that. Oh, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, because if it wasn't for my journey on Twitch, to get to where I'm at was like, it was just crazy. And now 2 of my best friends where I live now, after moving from Kansas back to Pittsburgh down to Fredericksburg, Virginia, are my 2 best friends are from Twitch. I met one on TikTok. So,
Adorable.
and yeah, and he just happened to be moving here when I mentioned that I was moving here, and he's like, wait, I'm moving there. So then we became really good friends. And then my other friend, Ghosty Boy, I met through, we had a mutual friend, iPuppy. I was out visiting iPuppy, and I came back, and right after I got back, iPuppy and him became friends, and then I just happened to meet him in passing, so I knew of him. And I moved back to Pittsburgh, and I ended up moving down here, and someone mentioned, like, oh, that's where Ghosty Boy lives, in that area.
Ew.
And I was like, huh. So then we became really good friends. And then that's how I met Flexstream. I met so many people down here, which is actually kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, like, well, Matt and I knew each other too, but we didn't really become close. I consider Matt one of the people I can go and talk to and like message, be like, can I vent about this or something random? Like, I just feel so safe with Matt. But it wasn't until Twitch that we connected like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. That's so cool though. I love that.
Yeah, like, because you don't know necessarily who are the people that you would connect with that easily until you kind of, there's something cool about Twitch, because it's this like unmitigated time of me watching you kind of a lot of times stream of consciousness. That's what I use a lot of times. I just keep talking the first thing that comes to my mind. I just say it. And so I feel that through Twitch, I get to see a kind of more of like the inner workings of a person in a lot of ways. Of course, it's like in a certain way, because it's like you're on camera and you're not going to share necessarily every aspect of your life. But there's like something that there's no pressure of, like, we're at a party, we're at a get together, we're at a dinner, we're at a thingy-majig or whatever. I don't know how to talk to you, but I just listen to you, and then you just find your opening when they're talking. You're like, oh my God, I relate to you with this. Here we go. Now I can talk.
Yeah, 100%.
At a party, I'm like, I don't know what you like. So, what do you do for fun? Like, and what do you answer that question? You know what I mean? That is so tough, and I think that's why I find Twitch is beautiful in that way, where it's like, well, you don't have to jump into every certain conversation. There's certain conversations where, like, I don't know what's happening right now, so I'm just going to listen and not feel kind of awkward that I'm just like standing in a room as everyone's talking about something. I'm like, yeah, love that. You could just lurk for a second, and then you say something. I don't know, and then you can connect in a way that's no pressure.
Yeah,
I find
100%.
That was a long tangent just to be like, Twitch is just so I get to hear your innermost thoughts for a good chunk of time.
It is really good for that. Definitely. I've noticed that there's a lot of skills, like you mentioned earlier, that like I've gotten from being a streamer. A lot of times it's just even being on camera. Like, I always make the joke, even though it's not funny, but I still make it anyways because I'm a dad. Not really, but yeah. I should be. And so if anyone's looking. Father
figure time.
I got this shirt for a reason. But it is funny because like anytime I'm at like work or in a environment where people are like, "Hey, we need to do this recording. Who's comfortable with getting on camera?" And then I always follow up with, "No, I'm camera shy." But I end up going on.
Oh, I gotcha.
Well, the problem is everyone knows that I stream now because it's my only personality trait now. I'm like, oh, I'm a streamer.
Well, and I know you're being self-deprecating with that, but it is such a specific thing that people get so excited to talk about.
They do.
You know what I mean? They really do.
Well, that's also another thing that's really funny too is that my brother. So my older brother, the one that I mentioned before, we didn't have a great relationship. He is the one who will be the first person to give me like a little bit of crap for being a streamer. He's like, you're a streamer, whatever. But that's because he's my brother, right? But he's super supportive, and his son wants to be a streamer, a YouTuber one day, and so that's why I let him play with me the other day. I did an impromptu stream. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, but that's why, and it's like all my nephews and nieces want to be streamers now, and eventually one day they're gonna put me out of business, but it's fine.
Great.
It's fine.
That's the goal, right? Though.
Yeah, right.
You keep it in the family. You move it on to the next generations. Yeah, it's funny. I think my step nephew and step niece are interested in it, but it's unfortunate is that it's just enough separation where it's like I don't fully know what if they want to and stuff. And I do like the separation because I would feel very uncomfortable if out of nowhere insert my nephew's name comes into stream. I'd be like, I'm going to say like, fuck my ass. I really need you gone, baby. I need you gone. Need you gone. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Well, it wasn't until that's funny because I've kind of done a lot of the opposite. Like I changed a lot of my content. Like originally my content, not that it was ever like sexual or explicit or anything like that, but it was definitely, there was tones to it that were a little more that route. But it was like more of just for jokes. And it wasn't until like, I don't know if y'all are a part of my community at this point, but at one point somebody in my family went off like the deep end. And at one point I was like, I don't know if my family members are going to have like a figure that they can look up to from like fatherly perspective. And that was the only thing that they could look up to. They wanted to be streamers, they wanted to be content creators when they get older, and they were doing that, and then that was taken away from them because they just couldn't be around them anymore, and it just got too unsafe. And that's when I decided, I said, I'm going to make my content a lot more wholesome, and in certain aspects, especially like getting into my YouTube channel. Like that's going to be because I can like at least send them there and not have to worry because I'm not going to cuss as much. I'm not going to, do all these things. But that was something that like I did kind of like where I had to like focus on like, all right, now I need to rebrand a little bit and go that route. Just so that way I had something for where like they could look up to me and go watch. Like before, I had not one of my nephews and nieces on my channel. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make this a place where they can come and feel welcome if they do end up watching.
Sure.
So.
But that's what's fun. You get to curate your space and whatever makes you happy, because you only can please yourself, because you're not going to please everyone. You got to just make what would make you the happiest. 100%. Of course, you have to be a decent person, but we're not going to have to worry about that aspect. Fortunately, here we don't have to worry about it.
That's true. That's true.
At least I hope. I don't know. Well, you never know. You never know. You never know. I don't know where you. Exactly. I never know. I never know.
But that's also another thing that like I really enjoy about your stream is how positive and like you're just yourself, and you like no BS have been like one of the biggest inspirations to me about accepting who I am. So thank you for that.
Hey, it's really hard because like I think we go through a lot of times in our lives where we don't accept who we are, but I think you just get to a point where you just are so fed up with it. You're like, I gotta I gotta do it for me. Gotta do it for little Ian. I always say, whenever I do certain things, I go, I like that. That was for little Ian. That was for little Ian, because little Ian would be mind blown that I am this queer variety streamer, and so a lot of things I do is for little Ian.
I love that.
It gets better when I applied for the ambassadorship. It was for little Ian. I even put that in my application because I love being super transparent, but I also have certain things that I don't feel comfortable talking about. But the things that I do feel comfortable talking about, I will be talking about, like no shame or whatever. But the things that I'm not necessarily the most comfortable talking about, that's okay. I honor that. I honor where I am currently in my life. And then I do a check-in a lot where I'm like, well, do we want to be this person, or is there something we can take that we can change to grow as a human being? And so I think when it comes to like accepting who you are, you have to accept like the parts that you're like, oh, I don't really like this, or I don't like that. I'm like, it is what it is. That's fine.
Well, I think
so you are.
That's also the crazy thing too, is I think at least from my perspective, what I didn't think about when it came to accepting who you are was the actual, like, I think when you're building yourself up to get to that point, right, you're looking at from everyone else's perspective. You're like, I need to accept who I am so that way I can be who I want to be in front of other people.
Right, exactly.
You don't think about how hard it is to accept who you are to yourself. Like, in that part of the process. That, for me, that's the hardest part. And
it's a cognitive dissonance with that too, because growing up, and I think it's just very common to be like, how can I make so and so like me, or whatever, or yada yada. I like this person, I want them to like me back, or this is what will make mom happy, this will make dad happy. But at the end of the day, it's like, what makes you happy? And you kind of have to like, right, what do I like? What the fuck do I like? What do I like? I like dresses, pastels. Now we have a bright ass room, pink in the background, purple in the background. I am so gay. I am so happy. But you know what? That's what like little things like that. I don't know.
100%. And that's one thing that like I even to this day I'm like, what do I like? I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know.
Yes, Matt. Yes. Popcorn, I love you. Sorry, I had to just say that.
I love you, Popcorn, too. I just
it might be burned, but it's still delicious. I don't know. I'm sorry. I love a username, so I can riff on it.
Is it buttery?
Because I always say, whenever you come in, I always say, oh, the owl that so happens to be split.
Yes. I remember. I love it. Every time. I sometimes
the potato that's sweet. Yeah.
The potato that's sweet. I like to come in.
Time.
I like to come into your stream just so that way, like, I can say hi to you, just so you can say hi to me, because it always makes me feel so much better.
Well, that's okay too, because that's like part of the greatness of like, I just need a pick me up in this moment. Like, you go to each streamer does something different too. Like, there's certain people I love just watching them do their things.
For sure.
Just doing their thing, and I just literally watch them. And I don't talk because I just love watching them do their thing. And there's certain people that I'm like, I love talking with them. I love chatting. I love doing all of that sort of stuff. And that I love about Twitch is that's why I'm not competitive ever with any. I don't understand if there ever is. I don't think it's common. I don't think competition happens a lot on Twitch, to be honest with you.
Especially in our community.
I don't. A lot on from what I've experienced. Sure, right. But that's just like they're the loudest people. I don't think they're the majority. But I acquiesce. I have no idea. There's enough seats for all of us, because what you go to is going to be different from what you go to X, Y, and Z. It's all different.
That's why
I love me a good username too, Myers.
100%. Do you know who? Wait, never mind. So we were at TwitchCon, and I think that really hit me at TwitchCon, because when I originally went to TwitchCon, I ended streaming. I stopped streaming, but I already had my tickets, and I was like, I don't even know if I want to go, and I end up going. And
I didn't know this actually.
Yeah. No, I was done streaming. I said, I'm not doing this.
Wait, why? What was? If you don't mind me asking,
no,
if it's too much, please, you could be like, I don't want to. I talk to because if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it. But was there a reason why you were like, I'm done right now?
Yeah,
I can't.
I got too involved in the numbers.
Yeah.
I just like
It's easy. It's a trap, and it's a hard trap to avoid because it's literally stares you in the face, and it gives you an email to remind you.
I know, and I ignore. I've gotten
Good.
proud of myself. I've taken off to where I could see how many viewers I have.
Oh, never. Oh God, I would throw up. I'd never have that on.
I just yeah, and that's why I ended it because I just got too involved in it. And I mean, don't get me wrong. There are times where numbers are important
Sure.
for certain aspects, but that was a lot of it, and I just got insecure. I think what it comes down to is just insecurity with myself. I wasn't confident. And then I went out to TwitchCon. I met so many amazing people, and I realized how amazing the community actually is. Like I think I saw a couple times on like Twitter afterwards that there was like a little bit of drama. Like I didn't see it. Everyone I was with,
I had no idea.
I went. You know, one of the best experiences I had at TwitchCon were experiences I couldn't have thought of because the people that created them were people that I like never would have expected. Like we were friendly, but I wouldn't say we were like friends. And now
Right.
we're like really good friends. Like London Bradshaw. I don't know if any of you know who London Bradshaw is, but go follow them because they're amazing and a sweetheart. But we're sitting there. I'm at. I met London at the first night at one of the bars, and I was sitting there. We introduced ourselves, but at this point I was so drunk I don't remember anything. And so like the next day we're at the drag showcase. I see London come up on stage, perform, and their like intro video and everything had us all crying. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't really know them that well. And I went up to them after the show, and they were just so like, oh, come with me. I'll get you into the party. I'll get you to do this, whatever. And then I end up hanging out with them for like a lot of the rest of TwitchCon. We went to the concert together, and I got into that friend group where I got to become friends with all these people that I never would have thought I'd ever got to meet. And it was like really cool because it changed my whole perspective. Coming back to Twitch became more of, how can I build other people up too? Like, why are we, not that I ever had this mindset, but why are so many people pushing each other down to try and grow and like get up when like, literally if we can build each other up, like we can all grow together. So
Yeah.
that kind of became my focus coming back. And that's why I was so heavily focused on like Stream for a Cause and reaching out to genuine content creators. And that's why I watch Ian Watson.
It's very sweet. I appreciate it. It's so funny. Whatever. It's like, I think no one's very good at the compliments because you want to react really well without being like, I know I'm great, but it's just very sweet. I appreciate it a lot. Because that is, I think, something that is very important to me is just to be genuine.
It's so important to me. I can't handle, well, one, it's a terrible quality in me as a car salesman that I can't lie, but I can't. Like, you see it on my face. I don't like doing it. I never really do it. And it just drives me.
Is it a bad quality though? I think that might be a good quality. People will always come back to you.
Maybe.
Love you all, Lorna.
Not technical car sales. You're supposed to be a snake.
Right,
remember?
I know. You're supposed to be the slimy car salesman who's just there for the paycheck and the money and stuff. I get it. But the thing is, like, what's great about that though is that you get to set yourself apart a little bit, right? They get to see like, this is a nice car salesman. What the fuck? I feel like I can tell when people are kind of being like, hi, and I'm like, I just feel so uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah.
I know you're just doing your thing, and I don't judge you because you literally are doing your job. You have to sell me a car. But I hate that feeling of like, I know exactly what you want from me, so I feel so uncomfortable.
It
So
happens
if like
to
someone's
me.
just nice and won't lie, I will be like, oh thank God, I can relax these shoulders.
That's so funny. Coming from the other perspective, because for me, I have the anxiety going up to people because I don't want that feeling. And like your managers, and like my managers are pretty, good, but like you have to go introduce yourself to all the customers. So I personally, I don't like trying to push the sell on somebody. If you're going to buy a car, come buy a car from me. Like,
Right.
cool. I'm gonna help you out. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to sell you a car. Like,
Sure.
so when I go out, I literally it's like it makes me sad, but it makes me giggle every time because I don't go up and be like, "Hi, how can I help you buy a car?" I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" They're like, "I'm just looking." I'm like, "I'm just asking how you are." Like,
I know, but that would be me. I know exactly, and I feel for these people. As soon as someone comes up, like, "Oh, hi," I'm like, "I'm okay, thank you."
Yeah.
Because I want people to know, being like, "I know it's okay, don't worry." And I think it's just everyone trying to be polite and be like, "It's okay." We also post-pandemic. It is. I was surprised how hard it was to feel normal in public ever. Like, my social skills got a little worse after the pandemic, right? Didn't it? Everyone had to go through it. So I think it's very, especially right now, everyone's kind of like, please don't talk to me because I don't know how to talk anymore.
I
don't know how to talk anymore.
So good at it. I used to be so good at talking with people.
Well, I think what I've gotten is I've realized that I don't want to do anything I don't want to do anymore. So I think what's really hard is like going on dates or anything, because I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? It makes it so much harder now because I'm like, oh, I'm so fine being alone. I love being alone so much.
See, I'm the
so
opposite. I'm like, and it's affecting me now because everyone around here is the same way. I was just making these jokes, like, especially to my straight friends because they just don't understand. I'm like, oh my god, it's so hard. It's so hard to be me. No, but like, it really is because especially in this area, I'm looking for like, I want a genuine relationship. Like, I want to get married. I want to be with one person. I want to go live the rest of my life with this one person and be happy. And a lot of people get scared from that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it makes it so hard for me because I'm like sitting there, and I'm not saying just anybody. I mean,
right. No. I think that's something. Sometimes people get in their head. They're like, "Oh, you could be anyone, right?"
But like,
it could
no
be
one
anyone.
wants to. Yeah, right. And I go and I've gotten into a couple relationships or relationship-like situations in the last few months, where like, yeah, where are the husbands at? And I
take them. They're yours. They're
man,
yours.
If you're offering.
There we go.
But I'm sitting there and I'm dating. And all of a sudden they like ghost me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what did I do wrong? And like all my friends are like, maybe you didn't do anything wrong. Maybe they're just scared. And a
lot of times it is so interpersonal. I think we forget that all the time. It's just your inner self that is going through the weird mental gymnastics. I'm sorry, I cut you off though. Keep going.
No, you're good. You're good. But I did come up with a metaphor for this situation. And if you're watching right now, and you're a lot like me, where like you're looking for a serious relationship, and I came up with this metaphor in my head with my ex, but it is true. It is so true. So like, anybody likes going and like dipping their feet in the water, right? So like you go to a pool, right? And you can go to the kiddie pool, and somebody who's afraid of water can go into a kiddie pool usually. And they can dip their feet in, and they're okay being in the kiddie pool. Mm-hmm. But if like, and I'm not. This is the metaphor. It's not going to be worded great.
I think I understand the metaphor already. So don't you worry.
Right, but like, so somebody who's afraid of water, you can go take them and put them in a shallow pool.
Exactly.
But you can't take.
They touch the ground still.
Yeah, you can't take them and put them in the deep end, or take them out and put them in the ocean, and then
they're gonna drown.
Right, and I think like my ex was somebody who was looking for a kiddie pool who was shallow, when in reality I need to find somebody who wants to be an oceanographer because like I got depth, honey.
It's so tough because I think where when it comes to dating and when my issue with a lot of the guys is that when someone I think sometimes when I don't really know a person, they don't know the bad sides of me, you know what I mean? Because like I don't I'm not a perfect person by any stretch of the imagination. They are not perfect sides of me, and so I get worried when someone's like, oh, you're like so perfect and stuff, and I'm like, you don't know me
Yeah.
fully, right? So I get kind of like, I feel like I could be anyone to you. Like I am a placeholder of like a decent looking, sweet person that I could see myself with. But I think I could have been, this could have been said to anyone, because I don't think it's said specifically to me. That's where my brain goes.
Right.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I need to rework that, but that's kind of where I go.
Other than the fact
I
that
did, Leo. I did.
Other than the fact that Ian Watson is perfect,
No.
I understand
No.
exactly. Well, here's the thing. So I think we have a misconception of what perfect is. And so like I'm sitting here talking to, so I had a crush on this guy for like the last 2 or 3 years. But it's always been like Snapchat, like I forget how we even found each other. But we've just been chatting here and there off and on whenever, oh hey, I saw your story, whatever. But it was never anything crazy, right? So I'm sitting there and I sent a picture to him when I woke up. And I think he made a comment like, how the hell did you just wake up and you look that good? And I was like, but he said something along the lines of like, oh, your hair, looks really good. I said, I just laid down. Like I was awake and I went and I laid down. I took this picture and I was about to take a nap. But then I said, and he sent me a selfie and it was like, oh my gosh, I look so bad. I look like I just like woke up. I look like this, whatever. And I'm like, this is like, I don't know this person that well. We've chatted off and on or whatever. But like, I'm like, why? I'm not looking for a model. Look, I've been on dates. I've pretended I've been on dates with models. Like, to me, I find somebody the most attractive whenever they do just wake up. Whenever they wake up, because of the fact that like I'm imagining a life with somebody,
Waking up with them, right next to them, kind of thing. I get you. That's funny. See, and I think this is an interesting conversation to me because I can see myself also. So it's like, oh, send me in the morning. I'm like, the fuck, I'm sending you a photo of me first. Excuse me, sir. No, you don't get to. No, and I don't mind looking gross. I love making an ugly face. I love just. I don't know why. I think it's fun. It makes me feel good. But yeah, I'm just like, nope. I don't know why. I'm just like, no. What'd you just ask for?
I have always been.
But I think it's great to hear your perspective as to where your brain goes from that. You're not looking for like, how does he look when he first gets up in the morning? You're just like, oh, I sent hi picture.
Right. Well, and I'm glad, like, also too, because like from the other side, like I've recently just been like talking to somebody, and we're sitting there having a conversation, and I was looking at it from that perspective. I'm like, so how do I change who I am to make them feel comfortable or happy? Not comfortable. I want everyone to be comfortable. I'm always going to help them be comfortable. But I mean, like me the most. How am I going to get them to like me? And I was sitting there and I go, I don't need to. I'm tired of trying to get somebody to like me. I'm going to show you what I am. And if you don't like it, that's fine.
Well, it gets rid of the guessing game, right?
Yeah,
you don't 100%. Have to worry. If they end up with you, that they like you for you, because it's hard when you are, let's say, you're presenting a perfect little package with a bow on top and stuff. It makes it very hard afterwards to see if they actually like you, because they like this perfect version that you created for them. That is not sustainable in the end, right? Because eventually you're going to be like, oh, I've got to show who I really am.
Well, that's also true, but also sometimes it goes from a negative, like the opposite of what you would think, right? So, like, for example, I just start chatting with this guy, been a couple days, whatever, and we're sitting there mentioning, like, oh, what are we going to do for a date? And I said, oh, why don't we watch a movie? He said, will there be ice cream? And I was like, yeah, what kind of ice cream do you like? And he mentioned that he likes chocolate chip or mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was like, for me, I was like, oh, well, he is about to go to work. He works at a place where like he can get some ice cream. I'm like, so I'm gonna surprise him with some mint chocolate chip like ice cream.
Adorable. I love that.
I was so afraid to do it. I was afraid to do it from the fact that like it has always, every time I ever do anything nice or sweet for somebody, they always somehow make it negative. They always turn it into, oh, you're too much. You're just, whatever. I'm like, this
The
is
fight
who
or
I
flight
am.
response. It's just, I think it's just, again, it's like the past relationships informing your actions, but again, it doesn't reflect you. It reflects their past, and so take comfort in that. But also, yeah, it doesn't make it easier, really.
No, and you know what? You're 100% right, and I guess I never thought of it from that perspective because that's just who I've always been.
Right, and so I think the thing is, it's like if you don't. So I've learned, and it's something I believe in, is that when someone says, oh God, I just literally ADHD brain. I'm so sorry. It literally just flew out of my ear. I hated that. Where was I? Where was I going? What was I talking about? It's gone.
Was it about how awesome you are?
No.
Oh.
Could you imagine if it was? Oh yes, thank you. More about why I'm great.
That's so funny.
Ooh, almost knocked that over. Yeah. It's just that people can't really see something of someone's actions unless it has happened to them or it's what they would do. And so you don't think that that's what's going on in their mind because you would never do that. That wasn't your experience. But in their mind, they're like, oh, that happened to me. Or I would do that to someone. I'm putting that onto you. They're every time anyone accuses or anything of that, it's because they have the capability or they've had that happen to them. So I don't take anything personal. I'm like, this is the past. I'm so sorry that Joe Schmo did that to you or whatever. I hear you. I'm just being myself. But hey, don't like it. You don't like it.
Well, that's also another thing. Is like I do that with friends.
Yeah.
Like you could mention something today and be like, oh, this is something that like is really important to me or that like I really enjoy. And then say a year later, you're like, oh, Split, I saw that you were coming to the area. Like, we should hang out. Let's be friends. Like, let's do something together. Things like that. Whatever you mentioned, like, today, I would show up and, like, surprise you with something like that. Like, if you mentioned something...
Right.
Yeah, so, like, that's just who I am as a person.
That's adorable. I love that. And I think that just kind of speaks to of like, oh, you listen to when someone talks. I love that. I've always taken stock in that, or like little things. Like I remember my last relationship, it was just so cute. I never thought I liked little gifts, or I never thought I was a gift giving kind of love language. But the idea that they were like, oh, I know you like this sort of random thing. I was like, that is so sweet. I love that. Thank you so much. That meant so much to me because it made you think of me in a way. Because I love Christmas time. I don't like Christmas gift giving and stuff because it's like you have to give someone a gift.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to just give a gift to give a gift. I want you to be like, oh, I saw this gift. I think of Ian. Here's gift to Ian, as opposed to Christmas time. What the fuck do I get Ian? What do you want, Ian? What do you want? I'm like, I don't have a hair dryer. And then you get a hair dryer. Right, you know what I mean?
Yep. I got you 100%, and I was very fortunate, and stars kind of aligned with this one, but I'll give you all an example of a time I did this for somebody, and it wasn't like a relationship thing, it's just who I am, but it just popped into my head, and it was one of my favorite things that I've ever actually got to do for somebody. I was in senior year of high school, and my English teacher was one of the teachers that wasn't the coolest teacher, and a lot of people just weren't a fan of her because they didn't know how to take her properly. I knew she was like sweet just from interacting with her, and she really liked me because I was respectful. So like we, just through like chatting, whatever, that last year of school, she mentioned, oh, my favorite band is the Clarks. This is my favorite song. I think she introduced it into one of her lessons or something. And she said, the Clarks is one of my favorite bands. And literally like 4 years later, I get this job as a car salesman for the Chevy dealership, Washington Chevrolet. And I'm sitting there And my boss goes, all right, are y'all ready? Because next month we have this huge concert that we're putting on because they were sponsoring a concert. And we're taking it to the Wild Things Stadium, which is a small baseball team, basically. Big enough to have a huge stadium, but like not major leagues. Right below major leagues. And we're sitting there and we're sponsoring concerts. They did it all year long. Every month they had one concert. Or every couple months, whatever. And I just happened to start at the perfect time where the next month they were hosting the Clarks. And we were giving out tickets to people. And I went up to my boss and I said, is there any way we have any extra VIP tickets? I would really like to get some VIP tickets. He said, yeah, sure, okay, whatever. And he gave me a couple VIP tickets. I tracked down my old teacher and I messaged her and I said, hey, I have a gift for you. Is there any way I could like stop by the school or whatever? She said, yeah,
That's
sure.
so cute.
I gave her the tickets and I remember I got to see her at the concert and she had a blast. So that was like one of my favorite things because it was like, I don't know, I felt like she was a misunderstood teacher. And I don't think she was
that's
expecting-
hard. I mean, I was an educator before. During the pandemic, I was full-time teaching and stuff, and I understood that like some of the teachers would get that sort of kind of bad rap, and they're like they just are doing their best. They don't mean it. They don't mean it. But I was very lucky because like I appear much like younger than a lot of the other teachers, so I was always just treated nicely because they were like, you're young. Yes. And they're all, elementary school. And the fact that I knew Fortnite made me cool. So I knew how to do the floss. So they're like, you're the coolest teacher. And I'm like, I know.
Wait, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's Fortnite?
What's Fortnite? It's a dating sim, which involves, I think you farm and stuff. And then like, I don't know, the kids told me things. I didn't really pay attention, but I wanted to manipulate them so they liked me.
Oh, yes.
More so I would eventually one day get a story where they were like, oh my God, VIP tickets, and they give it to me.
I might have to look into it.
No, please don't, please. It was really, as a teacher, I was very lucky. The students and the parents were the best part. I loved it. It was so fun. Administration sucks, but I was treated so well by my parents and by my students. Literally not a single problem with any of them. I was very lucky.
I love that.
Oh, there was one problem, and it wasn't a problem. We solved it immediately. It was great.
Love that. I dated a teacher for a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was hoping you wouldn't share our business. Well, I didn't think you would just come out with that. That's very I didn't agree with that when I signed the contract to be on this talk show. I'm gonna call my agent. I'm gonna do that bit that I did with Matt last time. No. I'm just kidding.
I just want to tell everyone about our past because I'm so honored.
That's it. Honestly, do it. Do it. First the hoarding and now this. Wow. I gotta go. I'm done. No, I'm just kidding. But wait, shit. I was going somewhere with that. Oh well, it's gone.
It'll come back. When we leave
Oh, you dated a teacher. We were just doing a bit. I was just done with the bit.
Yeah, it was a scary moment in my life. No, the teacher was great. They were cool. I love seeing teachers like outside the classroom because like growing up, like in my head, I'm still young. Like I don't feel like I'm an adult now. And so like in my head, I'm like, oh my God. Like if I see my teacher like out walking, I'm like, oh my God, my teacher. And they're like, you can call me Tom. Like you're an adult. I'm like, oh shit, I forget.
I was so the opposite. I would see a student. One time I was with my mom in the mall and we're just like shopping. I was like, oh God. And then they stopped and they absolutely recognized me and they stopped in their tracks and I was just like, hi. And I was like, I hate this with a passion. I don't know why I hated it so much. And the little girl was amazing. I love her in school. But I was just like, no, you're not supposed to be here. I'm away. We were in Victoria's Secret, I believe. And I was just like, I don't need this. I don't need this right
That's
now.
hilarious.
I don't need this right now. But it was, again, but it was a funny moment. I loved that moment in retrospect. I was like, that was so funny how I was like, nope. And now I understand that if any teacher saw me out and about, they were probably like, God damn it.
So now you know what it would be
I'm
like.
not saying hi to anyone.
If you ran out to Ian Watson.
No, please say hi to me. Please.
Have you
You
ever?
can. It was just it's odd. I taught elementary school, and so there's like, again, it was really weird because like kids would be like, I really like you, and I'm like, I really like all of you, and it was always really funny to be like, but no, Leo wrote something funny. God damn it, Leo. I just wanted to buy a bra. I had a drag show that night. No, I buy my bras online when I was doing drag. Come on now.
I did drag twice, just saying.
Oh, adorable. It's just fun. I always say, put on a wig. It makes you feel powerful.
Have you ever been recognized?
What?
Oh, thank you, Pitva.
Hi, Jill.
Have you ever been recognized from Twitch or social media at all?
I was recognized a couple of times randomly for like this really weird Twilight parody series, but never Twitch. I've never had anyone been like, I watch you on the internet. I've only had people be like, were you in this Twilight series? And I went, shut up. It was just on YouTube like years ago. That's the only thing. Actually, one other time it was someone recognized me from Unusual Suspects, and that was really cool. That made me feel that was the coolest moment.
Oh, I bet. That's super cool.
That was cool. They're like, were you in a trailer for this next week's Unusual Suspects? And I went, yes, thank you for saying that. It was like that moment of like, I'm great.
That's so
oh my God, I know, Lucky. I'm so sorry. It was we did a charity thing where it's like, I will show you all the Twilight series that I was in if we hit a goal, and we hit the goal.
You know, next time I see you, I'm like, were you at that Twilight?
Please,
so funny.
please.
I recognized you at TwitchCon, if that counts.
I mean, you did. That's true. But I reckon we all recognize each other. We're more like well, that's actually funny too. There's people, but I view everyone as like everyone was just friends. It was so nice just to be like,
for sure,
friend. And there was, I guess there were a lot of people that weren't streamers, but they were, again, it was just the equal footing, which was the only thing that was different. Is like, the coolest part was like, I now see your face.
Yeah, right.
Yes, get over here and hug me. Now I have a face, and that was the coolest. Like seeing a couple people. And I'm always so weird. I'm very I get very canned about because I don't know who wants who wants to know that they were in San Diego. I don't know. No one's business sort of thing.
Right.
But putting faces to names made me feel very cool, and like it just made it all so much more real. Because like again, and I get oddly emotional. I'm a very emotional person randomly. The gratitude I have for everyone, and like being able to see the people that have like meant the world to me, and like again, like I talk, they type. It's so cool then to see them talk, and it's hard to explain, but their person and who they are is exactly what they are, who they are online. It's the coolest thing of like, we could connect in the most bananas sort of way. I do not understand, but it is so freaking, it's just so cool to like connect. And like, again, you don't really know until you meet them, but it's been just everyone, like meeting people that I've not been able to watch, but I've gotten to like communicate in certain sort of ways, has been like the coolest part for me.
Well, and that's what I like about Twitch versus TikTok is that like, so like on Twitch, it's so much more interactive than TikTok. And I've had like, Caldero, I don't know if you're here. I saw you pop up earlier. I didn't get to say anything. But hi. You, I was at a bar in Pittsburgh, coming back home to visit, and I'm walking through a bar, and all of a sudden, and now, my friends and I do this to each other all the time, where it's like, oh my god, is that split out as like,
Cute.
yeah, right. So Cece, if you're watching, remember. But so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear, wait, are you split out? And I was like, who the fuck split? Oh shit, yeah, I am. Wait, hi. Wait, what? And it was somebody from Twitch, and I assumed it was TikTok, because at that point I think I was recognized once from TikTok. So
Cute. I love that.
Right, it was a weird moment. I was like, what? And it was, of course, it was on Grindr, which was great. But anyways,
Adorable.
So, I know, it was a great first date. So I'm sitting there and I hear that, and I was like, oh hi, like, and we're sitting there talking, and I assumed it was from TikTok. And oh no, I watch your Twitch, and it was just, for me, that was a weird thing. And then it happened a few other times, but it was all from TikTok. And like now I interact with, like, Caldero and I are friends, and it's like I see you in chat and I get to have these interactions with you, where like on TikTok you don't get to have those interactions. So for me, that's just like the difference, and that's why I enjoy Twitch so much more than I think any other social media platform.
Absolutely. And like, I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure I touch on what Lucky and Elorna say. I agree with that too, where it's like there's people online that are like, you can't trust who people are online. And of course, there's absolutely, don't meet someone in like an unsafe environment that you don't even know what they really look like. Of course, like that is, you have to be safe. But again, what Elorna says, like, people, you don't know who anyone really is, right? You don't really know. And so you kind of, like, the people online I've gotten closer to than like the people I knew before the pandemic, that we hung out in person all the time. I went, no, my relationships online have become deeper, and I can't explain it. And it's not like all across the board. Like, I'm still friends with like Ruby Red, who's a streamer, but she's an in real life friend. We were high school sweethearts. Like, we've known each other for forever. And so like, she will always be there. But like, there's people whose relationships that are so deep in a lot of different ways. And it's funny because like I've talked about with Elorna and stuff, that was like, Elorna and I, we connect in ways that are also on, like, through chat, and I'm talking, and you get like this, you get still so much of personality in their heart, and that when it translates in person afterwards, it's just really cool.
Right. 100%. I feel like, you know what, it's funny you mentioned that, and it's funny that Kuzi just came in, but like, so
period, Elorna.
Kuzi is, hi, by the way, is my boss. So we can't talk about him anymore. But
terrifying. Kuzi,
yeah.
Actually, Kuzi, I have something to say now. Split out. You can't say this. Kuzi, we are looking for a race. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
I know what he's gonna say. Make more phone calls and you'll get paid more. You'll get more car sales.
Oh wait, actually, Kuzi, do you have any tickets or VIP tickets I can have or something? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Wrong dealership.
I know. I'm totally messing. I love a callback.
Right? Callbacks are the best.
Just a little callback to a past moment.
But that's one thing, is like, Kuzi and I at work have a way to communicate and a connection that I never would have had if it wasn't for us connecting on Twitch as well.
Yes. Yeah, because it deepens the relationship in ways that it's hard to communicate. Because like, I think people understand you. I don't know. It's really cool. Like, the amount of times where I'm like, you get me. I don't know why you get me, but you get me. And it's so freaking nice. So thank you for getting me, people.
It's so, well, I think also that's another thing too, is like, because of the fact that we're able to create our community where we truly can keep, we set the environment. The environment's ours, right?
Yes.
Where we create the mood. We create a lot of it. And you all make it better, and you bring it in. But what it does is it attracts a lot more like-minded people into that one area. So like, me and you are different people, but we also have a lot of the same qualities in certain areas, and I feel like that's why
the core.
Yeah,
the core of who you are, or
For
the
sure.
same mission statement of what you want to bring to the world. I love saying I love sharing mission statements, or I share I share similar mission statements with a lot of content creators, and that's why I always say I'm so grateful that I have so many like wonderful content creator friends who I just look up to with in awe. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, and I'm gonna keep calling back to this because this was my first impression of Ian and it has not changed. Is that you are so like yourself, and you make me want to be myself more, and you
Oh,
inspire
that's
me.
like that's the like the biggest compliment is I want people to not feel like they have to put on airs.
Yeah, well, that's what I like so much is that like when I grew up, every time, and I'm pretty sure we've all done this, but like growing up, we always had these people that we looked up to. I
Yes.
got into superheroes growing up. I'm like, oh my god, I want to be like Batman, and then you grow up to realize, no, I don't want to be like Batman, and then we have like so many of these other things that like you look up to these people and you're like, I want to be them, and now as somebody who gets to be in this environment to where I choose, like, I look up to people from different perspective, and again,
Yes.
you're one of those where it's like, instead of me looking up to you and being like, oh my god, I want to be like Ian Watson, in the sense of like, pastel colors aren't my favorite colors.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Right. Before, as a kid, I would have been like, all right, I gotta like pastel colors too, because Ian Watson does.
Yes, okay. Yes. Well, I had a crush on this boy
wanna
from across the
say,
street,
I'm
and so
part of
my
the
favorite color became
LGBTQ
orange because he
community.
liked
And
orange.
this is
I
my
get
best
it.
friend, Valentina,
Right?
is an ally.
Right.
Talk, Valentina.
But then you grow up and you're
Ally.
like, oh my god, I could like this person. I don't need to be them. I could just take the aspects that I am inspired by, and like
Right.
it becomes my own because it's my thing.
And now, and now I want to accept who I am and have positive vibes, and also just be who I like am because of watching you and because of
That's very sweet.
being inspired by you. So thank you for that.
No, I the
Right, Koozie?
that's why I like because like I always say if people like, oh, I like this thing that you did, can I do it? I'm like, go, just do it. Because the thing is like how you do it, it's still gonna manifest differently because we are who we are as people. You can take the crux and the core of what the idea was, it's going to mold and shift completely because what you do with an idea, let's say we're both performing a monologue, because acting background, that's where I always think how I do a monologue is going to be so different from how you do a monologue because your interpretation is going to be so different than my interpretation. And because we have different lived experiences, we can use the exact same words. It's going to be different every time.
Yeah, 100%.
Like we play the same game, how we play the games are going to be so different, Like
100%.
you're not coming to me to play Fortnite to get the victory royales. You're going with me to I'm farming you for content, and you know it. Because I'm transparent about it, and I tell
Right.
people like I use that as a TikTok clip. Thank you very much, Rachel, or insert community member that I love. Because like I'm not that's not going to make me happy being like esports or whatever that means.
Yeah.
I want to just be dumb. I want to be goofy. But like you playing Fortnite is going to be different than when I play Fortnite because we have different skills.
Exactly, 100%.
That's very nice, Corbin.
I agree.
I
with
watched
that.
Ian play Fortnite for the victory royales. I love lying too, Connor.
There's Caldero. See, Caldero,
There we
remember
are.
meeting me the first time in person, and I was like more shocked than I think you were. I was like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, who split out? I don't. Oh wait, that is me, right? Took me a
Yep.
second.
Yep.
I just followed.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm so sorry. Your soul is mine. I'm the gay Shang Tsung. Is that? Am I saying the last name right? I'm always good. I think so. I think I got it. We'll see. Correct me if you know it. Please
And
correct me.
I was talking to my friend and looked over
That
the
makes me
bar, and I
happy.
was like, "Yo, I gotta see if that's a streamer I follow."
That's cute.
That's so funny, so funny. And now every time I go to Pittsburgh, I'm like, "Hey,
Yes.
What are you doing?
Skullbosh. I am the gay because your soul is mine. Come on, that's iconic from Mortal Kombat.
That was my ex's line.
And it only took 84 years. I gotta go. Elorna's calling me out right now. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. Elorna, I tried to stream last night doing trying to do TikTok live studio, but the TikTok live studio is being weird. Elorna, but it's coming back, I promise. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I love a bit. And that's what's fun is that people know I'm joking always about whenever I start going into weird tangent, I'm like, hey, hold on. Whenever I start doing anything that's like clearly, it's so fun to have like a group of like sweet angel baby muffins who just understand like, oh, here he goes again. And he'll get out of, he's so quirky, thank you. He'll get out of his system. But that's the thing, like Leo is like, okay. But it's cute, you get me. I don't know.
I love it. It makes me
It makes
so
you
happy.
happy.
Yeah.
It makes you happy. I just like that you have people that, I don't know, I'm funnier because my community's funny. Like y'all make me funny. I'm not that funny. Most of my jokes is from Jacoby29. Thank you, Jacoby29, if you're here. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like the community makes me funnier.
I just wish that
we lived Elorna,
closer.
I haven't seen the true you yet. But when we meet in person, I hope so. I hope you're a monster. No.
I bet Ian was disappointed when he met me. No, I'm kidding. When they met me, because I was like, I was so, oh my god, you were one of the, I was so afraid to meet you at TwitchCon.
It was really nice. So everyone was really, it was really sweet because I was nervous. Everyone was nervous, and the way our nerves manifested was different, and it gave me a little bit, I don't know, it gave me more confidence to be like, oh, okay, I could just be exactly, I don't have to change anything. Cause like when I'm nervous, I get more talky. I get more, no dead air. Let me, blah, blah, blah. And it was nice though, cause everyone was nervous that they were like, thank God that you won't shut the fuck up because I'm nervous. And I'm like, yes, oh, thank you. Okay, good. You understand that I'm not being quiet because I'm like, oh, I want to talk. I want to hear myself talk. I'm like, I'm just so nervous that I can't shut the fuck up.
That was, yeah, 100%.
Which was nice.
Yeah, I think.
No one judged.
There was a lot of people. Yeah, for sure. I think we were all, like you said, nervous, and it made it so much easier. Two of my favorite YouTubers.
I love when people are nervous. Wait, what?
Two of my favorite YouTubers were at TwitchCon, and I happened to like run into them, and I didn't want to say a word to them. I was like, nope, I'm just gonna walk the other way. Siren's Beauty grabbed my arm and said, nope, we're meeting him. You won't get this chance ever again. And brought me over and said, hi, my friend's a big fan of both of you. And then just pushed me into him. And I was like, hi. And they were like, oh my God, hi. That's so cool. Like they were just as excited to see me as I was to see them. That's nice. It was nice. It was like very welcoming. And then the one turned around, he was like, you get home safe, okay? And I was like, you're so sweet.
That is so cute. Because like, I think we put people up on this kind of like, it's easy when you kind of feel like you know someone and they don't really know you, but you know them. It's easy to be like, oh my God, but people genuinely like other nice, good people. They want to meet you if you're nice. They're not going to not want to meet. Of course, you're going to be an ass. There's assholes out there that are going to be an ass, but you can't control it, and you're not going to know until it happens. And it's so sad. Sometimes they say don't meet your heroes, but isn't it nice to know that your hero is kind of a dickhead? That might be kind of cool to know, so you don't have to like
True.
Look up to him anymore.
Find another hero.
So it's just like, you go for it because you don't know.
Like
and
Ian Watson.
You just have to be genuine about it. If you're come in and you're just like, hi, and you like are kind of like, you make them uncomfortable, you know, that's going to be hard to kind of like, you know, that's natural for them to be like, I don't know what's happening right now. But for the most part, people just want to meet other nice, cool, decent people.
I don't know how you couldn't. Like, have you ever walked away from somebody?
No.
And we're like, never have. You just back up.
No, I don't leave.
Yeah,
they have to walk away from me. I don't like saying goodbye. Going to class in high school was impossible. The bell rang and I was like, I can't move yet. This is awkward.
You would do great in Europe because the teachers change rooms.
Moving.
Fun fact.
Going back to high school. What? Hello? I'm just young. You didn't know? I'm so young. No. I do have a reoccurring nightmare that I have to go back and take this random math class. And I hate that.
Aren't reoccurring nightmares like the weirdest?
I don't have many. I have had like 3 reoccurring ones. Most of them are gone. The one that still randomly will happen is like the weird math one that I'm like, fuck, I'm good at math. What? And I hate that it keeps happening. It's like 10th grade math or something, or 9th grade math. I hate it. But the other ones are just absolutely batshit that you're like, I can't believe I had this dream. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel that. I have one that's reoccurring too, where it's like I'm back in my old childhood home, and it's like there's 2 parts of it. It always starts off at nighttime where there's wolves up in the woods, and they're like looking down at the house, and then they're like circling the house, and then it skips to day where they're crows. They're like flocking, and then our old neighbor George like comes and saves us with my dog Lucy. And I don't know why it happens on occasion, but it is the weirdest thing.
Wait, at least it's so illogical though. It's just like, okay, what a random reoccurring dream. Like mine's just like, oh, do you talk to your therapist about it? I'm like, yeah. Don't worry. No, don't worry. I talked to my therapist about it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Once a month or twice a month. So don't worry. I take care of it. If it does come back around.
It's what do you? I'm just now so invested in this math thing. When I was in 9th grade, I had my school, because I said, why am I in this math class? They're like, because your grades weren't good enough the year before. And I was like, I just didn't care. I said, can I go into another math? I said, this isn't going to do anything for me. And they said, nope. And I was like, all right, fine. So my average grade in that class was 105%. Just because I wanted to prove it wrong. Yeah.
Great. I love that.
Do you know what's really funny is my teacher... No, I'm sorry. It was 8th grade because it was middle school. He was my coach. And I mentioned something to him. I was like, I made a joke about 105% in his class. And he said, oh, okay, I'm a little too easy. I give too much bonus points. So I sent him a screenshot. Again, it's another callback to when I was in middle school. I sent my middle school teacher an email after I got into my first year of college. And I had 106% in math. And I sent it to him because he told me, he's like, I'm probably too easy and give too much bonus. And I sent him picture. I was like, see, I still have 106%.
This middle school teacher, he's like, oh, I did not mean to fuck. I didn't realize what I said was that I have fucked this kid up. I'm so sorry. You emailed me after all of that? I am so sorry. I'm imagining as an old educator, I used to have this student who would come back and it was always the sweetest. I love them, and I love their mom so much. But it's just so funny, the idea of like having a student that's like, hey, Mr. W. And I'm like, hi, look what I did. I was like, I'm so happy for you. What did I do? What did I do? I'm so sorry. I fucked this kid up. So now I think the middle school teacher is probably like, I'm going to be a little bit more careful with the way I talk now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
No, there's like, I just immediately put myself in their shoes and I would be like, I fucked up. I am so sorry, young man. I think I'd write this giant thing and then I would never send it because I'm like, do I? Or I don't know what to do in this situation.
That's hilarious. Luckily, excuse me, we had a good enough rapport back in middle school. He was my track coach. He was
cute.
Coaching, I think, my little brother at the time. And so it was like, we at least had good rapport.
I just want to say, I'm part of the LGBTQ
so
community. And this is my best friend, Valentina. She's an ally. Talk, Valentina.
Ally! Thank you so much.
Alorna.
Thank you, Alorna.
Sorry, it took me a second. I had to see
Oh,
it.
you have to see, yeah.
I was like, I don't know who followed. Alorna, I'm so sorry. I just saw it in the Discord. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you for being wonderful. What was I going to say? It flew out of my brain again. But this was like so lovely. Are you excited to do more of like interviews and stuff?
I am. This is definitely something that was really fun. and hopefully we can do another one at some point in the
Yes.
future to like
Well,
do a little
it'll
bit.
be fun to see the kind of like the change and the growth of like when you start also figuring out exactly, because like I always say like when I started editing and everything, where it's like my first edits were like, you know, they're good and everything, but then it gets better and better, and it's already fun that I'm excited to see little things that inspire you to be like, you know what, I'm gonna add this or that.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, for sure. And we definitely have to do one with Matt at some point too.
Of course, it gets better, baby.
It gets better. Yeah, it's so cool. Seeing you on there was like, I thought it was like the perfect pairing because like when I first heard about It Gets Better, and I was like, Ian Watson needs to be on this.
Well, it was because of my friend though, and that's why I always say I'm so lucky that I think it's like I have like so many people who are in my corner who see things and they're like, oh my God, Ian. And like, I think that's why I defer to gratitude with community and stuff, because a lot of the things I've gotten is from the kindness and the love and the support of everyone. So I wouldn't even have gotten the ambassadorship if it wasn't for the support of the community. So I'm so thankful to everyone, and you're all really cute.
100%. That's again, when I first saw it, I was like, perfect. I was like, if I could nominate one person, it would have been you. So
I got it, baby. I got it.
I love your hat.
Oh, thank you. You can get it. It's at my merch store. It's in the panels.
Yes.
It's in the panels.
Go to Ian's page.
He tagged me in the title, so you don't really have to go very far. I can type in the chat if you want. No, I'm just like.
I was hoping that it would tag you because I never did it through Streamlabs.
It did.
Okay, perfect. So it worked.
I think it did. Yeah, it did, and it's pink, and that makes me so
That's
happy.
so
It did. I did the pink.
Wait.
Oh, that's so. I think I did. I think it's because. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Next time you tag someone, let me know. I will check. Well, I will just see. If the name color changes, because that's the brand. Like I think they have like a branding color that you have in like your weird creative dashboard thing, and I vaguely remember going with that pink.
Because mine's pink too, so I don't know whose is this. Because
I don't know if it changes based off of the. I don't know. It could all be pink, and I could be living a lie.
That'd be really cool if it was like that creators.
Because that is the hype train pink I went with too.
Sweet. We just
Yeah.
need to find out if it's split out pink or if it's Ian Watson pink.
Exactly though. Exactly.
So, would you like to select who we're gonna rate out to?
Oh my god. Oh my god. No, that's too much pressure. No. I love pressure. I'm opening up my list of names.
Let's see.
But you could also, if there is anyone that's also like you've been talking to that is on the agenda.
Well, let's see. So it's very fresh. The only people I can think of. Would you want to do Britva?
Sure, absolutely. I
Let's give
love
Britva
me some
love.
Jill.
Absolutely. All right.
I feel like I couldn't suggest that without being obvious, right? I was waiting, so perfect.
Well,
Works for
when I
me.
got on, I said I either want to do Britva or Jer. So Britva's
Brilliant.
on. Perfect.
Let's do it, baby. Thank you
Wait,
so
Laughing got
so.
partners? That's so exciting.
Yeah, I know. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for having me. This was so lovely. I think you're so lovely, and I look forward to watching you talk to other cuties.
Yeah, they're gonna have a lot to live up to, but also not because no pressure.
No, don't worry, don't worry. I'm dead on the inside. No one has to worry about it. Don't worry. But I'm going to head out so you can say goodbye to everyone and wrap it up. But thank you again from the bottom of my bottom for having me.
Well, thank you for coming, and I appreciate it.
Of course.
Look forward to seeing your streams.
And yeah, I will see you over. Well, first I'll be in the chat, and then I'll see you over at breakfast.
I will see you there.
All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you all so much for watching. This was such a fun little experiment that I've always wanted to do. Next week, we're going to try and pick somebody else. I would like to have somebody on every week, at least one person. I would really like to have 2 people. I have it set up for 2 to 3 other people who can hop on. But you all were so amazing. If you came over from Ian Watson's community, I appreciate you all so much for coming in. If you came in from Matt Hall's raid as well, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I look forward to doing this again. I really want this to be something that continues and thrives because it's something that I enjoy, and I hope you all enjoyed it as well. But we are going to get this raid ready, and I'm going to try my best to multitask. If I can actually type like this and not talk too much, because I tend to do that whenever I'm going. So if you notice me talking a lot, that's probably why. And I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm just kidding. But thank you all so much for watching, and I really, really, really look forward to seeing you again next week. My next stream is on Sunday. Ian, I don't know when your next stream is, but if you want to promo it in the chat, that would be amazing. And I love you all so much. I love you less than 3. And make sure to tip your local drag queens. I will see you all next time. Thanks.